Hello kindergarten! I am so excited to start our sculpture project. A sculpture is when you build something three-dimensional, when you can touch it from all the way around from 360 and it is in real life. So this is the opposite of a two-dimensional project or a flat project. Like when we draw and when we paint, we do that on a flat surface. Today we're doing something completely new. We're making a pinch pot. A pinch pot is using your fingers to take a ball of clay and pinch, pinch, pinch in a circle until you have a cup or a mini dish. I'm excited to explore how we're doing it today using our Model Magic and 3 colors of marker. It's going to look different than this one. This is just a normal Model Magic pinch pot. It's all white, so there's no color, and it's hardened. That means that it was left to dry for a little bit, so you can tell it is solid. It's not squishy anymore. I can't move it around. Now this isn't going to dry like a normal cup where you can drink out of it. This is still going to be a little on the softer side, but still sturdy. So you can put jewelry in here, notes. If you are having a tooth fairy visit, you can put some of your baby teeth in here. It is the perfect little cup to store little toys or knickknacks you don't want to drink out of this project. Don't put liquid in here or it's going to get really goopy, and don't eat out of it. So you can't have your cereal in here, but you can have your little jewelry, knickknacks, or any little toys you can put inside here. So let me move this guy off to the side so you can take a look at what ours might look like. But ours are going to look a little bit more colorful because I'm going to teach you a technique called marbling, where we take 3 different colors and we mush and squish and create a really interesting looking pinch pot. Before we start, why don't we get out our hands and we do some hand exercises, because we're going to be pinching a lot today. So I want you to make sure that your hands are ready for that exercise. All right, let's make 2 fists. That's when you ball up your hands, and I want you to stretch your fingers all the way out and then back in. All the way back out and then back in. All the way back out and then back in. Let's do that one more time. All the way back out and curl those fingers back into a fist. All right, so now let's wiggle them. Take your fingers and wiggle, wiggle. Get those fingers moving. Just like in gym class, when you first stretch before you play games, that's what we're doing today. We haven't been sculpting in a long time, so we want our fingers ready. And the last one, I want you to pinch, because we're going to be doing so much pinching today. What I do when I pinch, I just take my pointer finger and my thumb and I connect them like claws, like little crab claws. This is important. We're going to be pinching a lot today, so make sure you know how to use your little crab claws. Awesome. All right, so hopefully you have your pack of Model Magic close by. This is what we're going to do. Hopefully it is not opened. If you open this, as soon as that awesome Model Magic comes out of the wrapper, it's going to start to harden, like this cup. This has been sitting out for a few days, so you can hear that it is solid, that it is dried. Once you open this, it's going to start to dry, so please make sure that this is ready to be opened. If it's already opened, it's going to be hard to work with because it's probably going to be dry already. And then I need you to pick 3 of your favorite colors. I always group my warm colors, my red, orange, and yellow together, and my cool colors together, my purple, green, and blue. For today, I want to use my warm colors, but I wanted to show you all the colors. I'm going to use my 3 warm colors for my project. You can choose any combination of 3 colors. You might want to use orange, yellow, and purple, or red, green, and blue. Whichever you want, you can use. But today I'm going to use red, orange, and yellow. These are the ones I'm going to use. Let me put them off to the side. We're going to jump back over here. I'm going to keep this in the corner so you can see what we're starting with, but this is the one I'm going to open. Model Magic is a little bit different than normal clay. Clay comes from the earth. It's like wet dirt, but it's squishy, and from the beginning of time, people have been using them to make pots, to cook, and to eat out of. Model Magic, the best I can describe it as, is like an art marshmallow. When you start to squish and let it dry, it still kind of feels like a dried marshmallow. It's still soft. Like that, you can hear. It's still soft, but it's not going to dry enough for us to cook or eat out of it like normal clay. It is super squishy, and it's really awesome for building a little project quick. You don't need to bake this, so your parents or whoever you live with don't have to put this in the oven. Once we're done making our pinch pots, we're going to put it off to the side and let it dry. And that's all you need. Once it's dried, it is ready to go. Let's take our Model Magic packet. This package is a little difficult to open, so I do suggest you grab a pair of scissors. Ta-da! And you just snip the top off. That's what I'm going to do. So I snip and I snip and I snip. And then I can see inside is my Model Magic. Put my scissors off to the side. And grab that gooey clay. How much fun. I'm going to put this off to the side. You can just throw that away when you're done. In kindergarten, I want you to start to squish. See how it feels? See how I can stretch it? Ooh. See how I can squish it into a ball? I use both my hands. I squish it into a sphere, a 3D circle, a ball. I can squish it into a cube when I pinch my fingers. And I can make it into a cube or a 3D box. I'm just using my fingers to squish, squish, squish. I can make a cube. And I can make a cone if I wanted to by rolling it into almost like a hot dog. I put it on my hand and I squish the top into a cone. And I make it into a point. A cone or a 3D triangle. Now it's time to build. Your first step for today, kindergarten, I need you to take your Model Magic and make it into 3 balls. So what I do is I pinch and pull. I got 1, and I pinch and pull again. I got 2. It's okay if some of the balls are a little smaller than the other ones. That is gonna be fine. Also, friends, you should be working on a surface that's flat. It'd work the best if you're working at a kitchen counter or a wooden table. If you're working somewhere with carpet or any fabric, you run the risk of it getting stuck to it. So here are my 3 balls. What we're gonna do to make sure our pinch pot is colorful and not just plain white, we're going to make these little balls into tiny pizzas, and I'll show you how to do that, and color on them. You should be using washable markers, and your fingers might get a little bit stained, but washable markers will wash off in about 3 or 2 washes. If you do not want to make your pinch pot colorful, you can skip this step and just go straight to making a regular white pinch pot with us. You'll have to fast forward in this video and skip the coloring part. So I'm going to take my ball of clay that I made. It's about the size of a quarter or a very small meatball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch. Remember those crab claws? Pinch, pinch, pinch. And I'm going to pinch it into a circle until it's the shape of a pizza or a flat circle. I want it to be kind of as thick as a cookie. And I pinch and I pinch and I pinch. When I'm done pinching, I've got that flat circle. This is where I'm going to take my marker and choose red first. And this is going to seem very strange, but we're going to color on our clay. I take my little round pizza, and you can either draw stripes of color or polka dots like that. I want my clay to be really, really red, so I am covering my pizza or cookie with marker. And I'll be able to see that the marker just kind of is wet and is sitting on top. I'm going to cap my marker. I don't want that to dry out. Whoop. And I'm going to take my clay round that's filled with marker on top, and I'm going to squeeze it closed, kind of like I'm making a taco. I close it so I see no more color because I don't want to touch that wet marker. I want to use my clay to swallow it. See how I don't see any marker? I'm going to now pinch and squish. And the more you pinch and squish, you're going to see that the marker from the inside starts to dye the clay red. So I'm pinching and I'm mushing. I pinch and I mush and twist and pull. And as you keep on pinching and pulling, I start to see it's kind of turning pink, which is a light red. See that? If you want to add more marker, which I might add a little bit more red so that it's not too pink, you gotta re-flatten it out. So keep on pinching until it's flat again. Take your marker, whoop, color right on top, and do the same thing you did the first time. I color and I color, all on the top. We're going to do this same technique for all of our little clay meatballs. I pinch and twist and I pull and I break it apart so I get all of that red to dye my clay one color. So we're doing a lot of pinching and a lot of mixing today. You can always take a break, walk away, and then come back. And then I have a little piece of clay that is dyed a different color. I'm going to keep on doing this with all of my clay pieces. I then take my other white clay ball, make it into the flat circle, pinch, pinch, pinch. Do the same thing with orange. Kindergarten, I'm going to fast forward. You can watch me as I quickly do what I did with this guy for my other two white clay balls. When you have all of your clay completely colored, then we're going to start to make the cup or the pinch pot. If your fingers get tired and you need a break, don't worry. You can go take a walk and come back to your clay to make the cup part. It won't dry immediately. You have plenty of time in between now and the end of art class to make your pinch pot. All right, so what I need to remember to do is cap all of my markers. Once my markers are capped, I'm going to push them off to the side. And now I have 3 bits of colored Model Magic. Mine is yellow, red, and orange. For this next step, we're going to mush them all together into a ball. You can do this any way you want. You can make them eat each other by wrapping some colors around, like I just made a hot dog, or you can just make them into one squished up ball. So I'm just gonna kind of put them right onto each other like that. And now I am going to marble them, which means I'm just gonna squish, I'm gonna pull, and just make them all swirl together. So I'm just mushing, and I can pull and twist them together like that, and turn, and twist, and mush until I get that ball. So now I've got all of those colors in one big ball of Model Magic. And now let's make our pinch pot. After all of that work coloring our clay, we're now going to transform this. Remember those pinching fingers? What I want you to do is take your thumb and put it inside the ball of clay. So I'm going to push down into that ball until I have a mini hole. See that little hole? We're going to now take our pinchers, our crab fingers, and pinch and pinch and pinch in a circle. And pinch and pinch and pinch and pinch. And all I'm doing is kind of twisting my hand, pinching the sides of the Model Magic to make a cup. I'm pinching and pinching, and now I can see all those colors. Look how they twisted together. Ooh, even on the inside, I have a lot more yellow on the inside. I like that. And I pinch until I start to see a cup shape. And here's our little pinch pot. The most important thing about this project is using your gentle, gentle hands. Make sure you're not pinching too hard, or you might pinch a hole in it. Be nice and gentle. Work very softly and pinch. You can make yours as tall or as wide as you want. This cup is a lot more tall, see how high those walls are, than they are wide. This one, I can tell, is going to be a little taller. But I want to make sure the walls are even, so while you pinch, make sure you've got even walls around your dish, your pinch pot. And when you're done pinching, see how we've got like a cup, it's rounded on the bottom, we gotta flatten it. I'm gonna have you find either a wooden or a hard surface, and you're just gonna press it down right onto the surface. Because when I press it down, I can feel at the bottom of my cup now is becoming flat so that it can sit. If you don't have a flat bottom of your pinch pot, it's gonna tip and roll around. So right now, let me pick this guy up so very gently. Whoop, and he's so soft that I have to be like using such gentle fingers. If I look on the side of him, I've got a flat bottom now. See? It's hard to see with the color, but it's a flat bottom, so we can sit flat. Now, friends, I'm going to actually keep my pinch pot right here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Whoop. There we go. We're using our special effects today. And I want to make sure that my pinch pot is going to stay still. My little tiny pinch pot, he's going to sit on that hard surface for at least one day. After an entire day of wherever he's going to go sit and dry, then you can give him a little poke and see if he's hard. When he sounds like this, then you know you're ready to pick it up and you can use it to fill things inside of it. You can use it as a tiny dish or a hat. But this is so important that you don't touch him. Once he's done becoming the pinch pot, don't touch him until he is ready to be handled, because he's going to be soft. This is such a fun project. I can't wait to see how you build your pinch pot. Happy creating, and I can't wait to see your pinch pots.